rise. Commissioner Notstein, if you may lead us in a moment of silence and a prayer.
Oh God, thank you for the gift of this new day, and thank you for the blessings of this life. Family, friends, work, and purpose. Guide us as we discuss, plan, and dream together. Help us to make wise and just decisions. Amen.
Mr. Fetter, as a veteran, if you would please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
These proceedings are being recorded for the sole purpose of preparing accurate written minutes. Recordings are overwritten following approval of the minutes, eliminating all unofficial records of these proceedings. Your first item is the approval of the minutes of the previous meeting held April 25th, 2024.
Motion approved.
Second?
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes. Are there any guests here concerning county business? Hearing none?
Next item is the Farmland and Open Space Program. Mr. Lamont McClure, Northampton County Executive.
May I approach?
Yes, you may.
Thank you so much for having us here today. We're very grateful for this opportunity to enter into this memorandum of understanding with Carbon County. If I just you'll indulge me, Mr. Chairman, for a moment of personal reflection. I'm a 1988 graduate of Weatherly Area High School. I grew up in Carbon County. My late dad was the Housing Authority Director of Carbon County for nearly 40 years. So I grew up walking around Jim Thorpe, Lehighton, and Palmerton. And so obviously I have a personal connection to the process that we're engaging in here today. But I also come here for a business purpose too. About a year ago, the Lehigh River was designated one of the 10 most endangered rivers in the country. And the one of the reasons for that designation of the Lehigh River being endangered was runoff from warehouses. As you may know, we have had a tremendous warehouse proliferation in the Lehigh Valley and in Northampton County in particular. And as you know, counties have very little influence over zoning decisions. That's all made at the municipal level. But the thing we did do, and if I can just take a moment to talk about some of the things we've done with respect to our ability to push back against warehouse proliferation, I'd appreciate that. And I think it will help everyone understand why it is that we think this is so important that we're working together on this. Northampton County has successfully operated a farmland preservation program, an agricultural conservation easement program since 1991, and an open space program since 2004. To date, Northampton County has 255 farms preserved, totaling 19,278.96 acres. 12 easements are currently in progress, totaling approximately 610 acres. Since 2006, Northampton County awarded $20.75 million in livable landscapes grants for successful local and regional park improvements, open space plans, recreation, land conservation, ecological restoration, and trail projects. Approximately 3,600 acres have been preserved, including more than 379 acres added to Northampton County's parks, preserves, and trails between 2019 and 2023. So as you can see, the preservation of farmland, open space, and environmentally sensitive land is dear to my heart. And if I can help my native soil in any way do that as well, I'm glad to do that.
And I'm going to make a comment on this. I think when I first contacted Lamont, he said to me, Rocky, I know you. And I'm thinking, like, is that a good or a bad thing? And I think the second question I asked him, I said, we're starting this open space program and need some help with our farmland preservation. And before I got the question out of my mouth, he said yes. So I think as for Carbon County and Northampton partnering in something like this, I think it's greatly appreciated for us to get off. I mean, you have a well-established plan. And I'm hoping that we can move right along in the footsteps that you have done and do the right things. But I don't know if this has ever happened with the state. Two two counties coming together to help each other. Well, you're more helping us. But I really do appreciate it, I think, on behalf of the county commissioners. And this is something that there's a lot of people here that worked on getting the vote out there, and the public wanted us to preserve land. And this is gonna help us start off on the right foot. I mean, we have $10 million that we have to worry about, and that's an awful lot of money that we gotta make sure that we do it the right way. And for you coming in here and your staff to help us out, I think this is a tremendous asset to the county. But thank you very much and your staff for coming. And I said it's, every time I call you, you just don't hang up on me. But it looks like you have a passion for this particular item that we're working on. And it's really good to partner with somebody like Northampton County. So
Yes.
thank you very much.
And I'd be remiss, my Director of Administration, Nicole Peterzak, has been working with
Oh,
you,
yeah.
Mr. Commissioner,
Yes,
very closely on this, and I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge her good work on this.
Oh, yeah, she does, and she does answer the phone when I call.
Maybe you should introduce the.
Oh,
you have-
so my Director of Administration is here. That is Nicole Peterzak. My Deputy Director of Administration and Chief Information Officer, Brittany Whalen, is here. And Michael Rinker, who is here from our Emergency Management Division.
And then I would tell you from Carbon County, if you haven't already met them, we have Dan Kunkel, he's here. Dennis Demara, everybody knows Dennis.
Prime motivators behind the referendum for the open space.
We have Dick Fetter, he's here. He's also the chairman of our farmland preservation. And Dan Schoenberger. So,
Thank
It
you.
might be premature, because we didn't vote yes, but.
Well.
We didn't vote on it. But, I too, thank you for the partnership with Northampton County. That's what it's all about, is partnerships, collaboration between the counties. A few weeks ago, we did an agreement with Schuylkill County. We continuously work with Carbon Mineral Pike, Joiner Board, and several other counties on different issues. But thank you for the partnership and working together with us.
And Ellie, I will make the motion to approve and execute the MOU with Northampton County to provide technical assistance for farmland and open space program.
Second,
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
yes.
Motion is passed.
Anything further?
And I have a document here. Now, this is the one for us. I don't know if you guys wanna.
Okay.
Now, the commissioners already did sign this, so this is yours,
Thank
or to sign. And then we actually need a copy here, that I don't know if you guys wanna huddle around and sign here, or.
In case it goes, no.
So this is our copy.
That's the picture if it doesn't work. This will be the picture if it does.
I will sign this one
All
here.
right,
And then that's for
I'm gonna wait till they
Okay.
come over.
you to sign. Rocky signs it up quick.
Ouch, stabbed me with his pen.
County council gets mad at me if I sign something before they approve it, yeah, so I have to wait.
We only have one person gets mad at us if we sign something.
Yeah, she's sitting over there. That's why she's over there, she'd be slapping us.
Thank you, gentlemen.
No, thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Welcome
No,
back
I'm-
to Carbon County.
And we'll be in contact with Nicole to try to get things together, hopefully at. Is this one ours? Yes, and hopefully at, one of the meetings that, was this the one? I think that's.
Come on, do you know, our guest in the back there, Diane, from Weatherly? I mean, Georgia. rather.
Yes, Lonnie, I remember Lonnie.
Most of my life.
Close to your life.
Yep.
I know his mom very good.
Good coincidence today being here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it.
Every time I would see signs during election, I would think, is that
So
him?
we'll get a hold of
Because I knew his
Nicole
dad,
and
you know,
we'll try to
would
get
be
something,
probably
maybe when we
retired
can
by
get a meeting together with the ag board. and
But
try to
his
figure
mom
out
used to
what
call him
direction
Lonnie.
to go. So, Nicole, thank you again for what you've done.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, you may.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. I don't know if farmland or open space have anything to add?
No, I'm just here to observe what the people are trying to do.
Anything to add? Questions, comments, concerns?
I appreciate what you're doing.
Before they all book, media have any questions?
I don't know, we'll see what they say.
You're good?
Everything's good?
I'll do them all.
Copy of the agreement would be made obviously available to Amy, so you know.
Mr. Mike,
Yes.
Could we get a copy to the board members of what you're doing here?
Sure,
Yeah,
If you don't mind.
yeah, absolutely.
we can send, yeah, you have big send.
Do you have
Well,
Dennis?
he's,
As soon as, after the meeting, I'll give you copies.
yeah, he has.
Pass this back to him. I can get another copy. It's an unsigned copy.
Oh, no, he wants the,
No, we have to sign one.
oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, it's signed
Okay.
one.
Yeah.
That's good. All right, thank you.
Difference.
Thank you, people.
Thank you very much
Take
for
care.
taking time out of your day to be here.
Thanks a lot, we appreciate your support.
Anything further? With that, we'll move on.
Next item is the proclamation, Pop-Out Day, May 8th, 2024.
Motion to adopt proclamation?
Second?
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
And we have Georgia Farrell?
Yes, a long time no see, a whole 5 years, 4 or 5 years. I'm back as a volunteer. Thank you very much for the proclamation. We used to do this every year. I represent the Wellness Council at the Weatherly Area School District. I've been involved with it for over 20 years. And I'm still doing it as a Weatherly, you might say, a resident, but also my grandson does belong to the school or go to the school. He's in first grade. So I have a great responsibility, you know, to make sure everything in the school is up and aboard. We work with Nutrition Incorporated, and they're very on top of the policies that the USDA and the school district policies and stuff like that are adhered to. But I'd like to thank you for signing it. I haven't been down here like in a couple years with COVID and different things, so Rocky is one of my pizza customers. For my Legion, I also wear that hat. I'm president of the American Legion, and he'll come up, and I had asked him a couple months ago if we could start to do this, because I did tell Becky McFadden that I would come down here and receive the proclamation. Next Wednesday is Pop-Out Day. Some of my Legion ladies, or I shouldn't say my unit, will be at the school during lunch, and each kid will get a little bottle of water. And our school does allow the children to bring water into the school throughout, you know, and keep it with them throughout the day. So each child, there's a big, huge sign on the wall, and they get to sign it, you know, sort of saying that they will remember today's Pop-Out Day to stay away from soda pop, sugars, like Gatorades and things like that. I mean, they do have some type of what's the word I want to say? They're good if you're an athlete, but to sit and drink a whole thing of Gatorade with the sugar and stuff in it, or soda pop, or some of these other drinks like Hi-C and stuff like that, there's a lot of sugar in them, even if it's a natural fruit sugar. So it is important, you know, to consider water. We should drink at least 6 to 8 glasses, 8-ounce glasses a day. So it is very important.
Well, with that said, we're going to have our solicitor, Robert, if you could read it officially into the minutes.
I'll be happy to. Whereas the youth of Carbon County is one of the county's most valuable resources, and whereas 1 out of every 5 children in the United States is obese or at risk of becoming obese, and whereas obesity is now proven to be a direct cause of health-related diseases and costs business and industry millions of dollars each year. And whereas data has proven that there is a direct relationship between increased soft drink consumption, inactivity, and overweight children. And whereas it is further understood that high sugar beverages provide limited nutritional value and should be consumed on a limited basis as per the MyPlate Healthy Eating Chart. And whereas there are other beverages available that offer nutritional advantages such as water, 100% fruit juices, and milk. Now, therefore, the Carbon County Board of Commissioners do hereby proclaim May 8, 2024 as Pop-Out Day in Carbon County and urge all children, their parents, and the citizens of Carbon County to restrain or restrict their consumption of empty calories as in soft drinks, iced tea, and sports drinks. adopted by the Carbon County Board of Commissioners this second day of May 2024.
Brown, present.
You're getting out of here. Oh.
Yes. Go to the front, pizza lady.
Hey, we have good pizza, don't we?
Yeah, you do it.
We have sugar-free pizza?
No, it's anything, it's low calorie, you might say. Oh,
There you
thank you,
go.
thank you. You're welcome.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Wayne,
George, nice seeing you again.
nice seeing you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rocky.
I'm not gonna kiss you, my wife gets jealous.
Okay. Thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Onward.
Okay. Next item is the report of executive sessions held.
There were none?
The department reports, the budget transfers.
Motion approved.
Second?
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Supplemental appropriations.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Expenditures, approval of check for numbers 243117 through 243396 for expenditures to the general fund clearing account, $53,948.68.
Motion to ratify.
Second?
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Approval of check numbers 243397 through 243494 for expenditures to the general fund clearing account totaling $1,750,588.41.
Motion approved.
Second?
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
The treasurer's report?
Motion approved.
Second?
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes. We will recess for salary board. Are there any guests here concerning salary board business? Hearing none.
The report of executive sessions held?
There was one April 29th, 2024 at 10:30 a.m.
Yeah.
I know it was a long night, but not that long.
Whoops, okay. Next item is the court administration, Judge Nanovic.
Yeah, I'm tired from that meeting. So I have two motions to make, both are related to positions in Judge Kistner's office on Palmerton. The first is a motion to change the rate of one office supervisor one from $18.27 per hour, which is a grade S2, step C, to $18.72 per hour, a grade S2, step D, effective as of January 1st, 2024.
And I'll second that motion, just with some discussion.
Okay.
And you know how I am with job descriptions, and the better job description, you get better pay. And I just want to bring something up that I actually made a motion for. I don't know what the date was, it was a couple months back. And I don't know if some of these are addressing longevity or if it's more duties and, you know, descriptions for their job. I don't know where this is going. And I know that I made a motion, I think it could have been back in February, for the recorder of deeds to go up one step because there were some people that were here 32 and 35 years. And then my next comment was that I think we have to address longevity. And I think some of these might be in that longevity thing. I mean, I'm all for it. I think the longer you're here, you should get more money. But is this where this is going? And how are both of these gonna fit into that category? I mean, is it gonna give more traction? I shouldn't say more traction, but is it gonna be favorable to certain people, but not the overall, you know, the employment of everybody in the entire county? You know, I mean, within, you know, I'm looking like, if this is for Judge Kistner, someone, is it fair to the ones that are in the other magistrate's office? You know what I mean, Roger? I'm just looking at it like, I want to be fair to everybody. And I mean, I'm okay with some of this the way it is, but should we be analyzing the whole system that we could actually give the whole group a good raise? You know what I mean? Should we analyze it a little bit further on longevity? I mean, are we giving for somebody that has 6 years and now there's somebody that has 8 years that should have got more? So are we gonna be addressing that every month, you know? Or can we, I mean, I don't know. Is this something that we could table? If we're gonna have it for 2 weeks, can we look at it? Because like I said, on my motion that I said, my intent would be to address longevity for 5, 10, and 15 years, and we've never done that. You know, we've done the salary study, but we've never addressed, you know, so is this just one position that we're addressing? Should we be addressing all of them?
Okay. So, I'll try
Yeah.
to answer your question the best I can. These two motions do not address longevity.
Okay.
Judge Kistner was here, when we had a discussion, and he went through, I think, a relatively detailed explanation. These are only two positions in his office, and is primarily addressing an issue where these two individuals, there was different policies in place at different times by the county, and they were not giving a normal increase as of January of the year, in which they had been hired or promoted. So this is to address that perceived inequity in how they were treated, which is why it's made retroactive to the beginning of the year. These two positions are also, the court administrator has submitted new job descriptions or updated job descriptions to, I forget what it is, I think it's 20-some court employees that were submitted perhaps back in June of last year. I don't think they've been reviewed yet by the Human Resource Department, and so I don't know where those are going, and there might be further adjustments in different positions. When we were at the meeting here, Kelly Hamm, the court administrator, was present, and you may recall, I asked her, I said, is this gonna cause any internal problems among magisterial offices? And her response to me was, no, it would not. So I've accepted that. So I hope I've answered the questions you
And
presented.
in response to hers, I didn't, I've gotten all the phone calls that things were bad and people didn't get, and I think just giving to one person is not the answer, or two. I think we should look at this thing within the next couple of weeks and address the job descriptions and the longevity and get this over with. I mean, it's been dragging on too long. And I think going back again, I don't know if our director is here. I think there was a appeal process, and I think some didn't get it in on time. So that's a holdup, and I think right now you're working on some, and the departments are not getting back to you. Am I correct on that?
Yeah, we did have
So if the departments don't get back to us,
Well, is
that's
is that
lagging
involving-
also.
Is that involving court admin? I'll let Kelly know if she's not
That
getting
is
back
not
to
one
you.
with
Good, okay.
No, this was,
Still here.
no, this was, but that's what's happening. Some of these that wanted their job descriptions aren't getting back to her. So now that's lagging for 2-3 weeks, and it's hurting you guys. And I would wish I could come to a whole plan here, and everybody in the entire county could get a raise or according to their job description, but it's just being held up. I mean, I think these people, and you know what? If some of these departments don't get back to her, skip and go on to the next one. You know, we can't just wait for, and that's what I said, it's making HR look like they're not doing their job. You know, and I don't know, Judge, I mean, I would love to give everybody a raise, but I mean, I think everybody sees where I'm going, and if it passes, you know, it passes, but I still stand on that we have to address these issues with longevity and get these job descriptions done, because better,
I don't want
yeah.
to, I think I've answered your question.
Yeah, you
This
did.
does
You-
not address one.
No, you did, and I'm just, that's my feeling about it, so, I mean, I'm ready if anybody else has any more comments.
Judge Nanovic?
Yes.
Mrs. Herman?
Yes.
Mr. Honor?
No,
Mr. Notstein?
I abstain since the position is held by my niece.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
And my second motion is to change the rate of one secretary two from $15.58 per hour, which is currently a grade 4 step A, to $16.36 per hour, a grade 4 step C, again effective as of January 1st of this year.
and I'll second that.
And that motion, I have to support that highly because that is, that person in that position has been here longer and not only with the county, but in that position than newly hired making more. Is that correct, Sam? One or two of the people.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
The only thing I would say under that and under all of this is the positions, at least when they were brought before the salary board, were explained very well by Judge Kistner, and he stated as reasons as, Your Honor.
Yeah, he's very committed to this. I wanted to speak up on behalf of these two particular employees.
And I, like Rocky had said here about longevity, yes, it's something that has to be addressed, and it has to be, we have to stop talking about it and address it. And that is the answer. And I do know there's other departments, but we are also negotiating with unions. So a lot of those raises deal in with the negotiations at this time, that we can't really fully address that because we're waiting to hear from from our council. So that's why I kind of support all of this, because where we can help without having to get involved, I'm all for that. So, go ahead, call the vote.
Call the vote for Judge Nanovic?
Yes?
Mrs. Herman?
Yes.
Mr. Honor?
No.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
That's all I have. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
The next item is the prothonotary. Change the rate of 1 second deputy from $15.43 per hour, a grade 4, step B, to $15.05 per hour, grade 4, step A, effective May 6, 2024.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mrs. Herman?
Yes.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
A public defender. Change the rate of 1 full-time assistant director from $63,338.50 per annum to $58,526.45 per annum, effective May 6, 2024.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mrs. Herman?
Yes.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes. Any? Yes. Is there any further business? Then we're going to, no, we're not going to, oh, yeah, we're going to.
Recess.
Recess.
Yeah, we want to recess the salary board at this time for 2 weeks. With that, we will reconvene the commissioners' meeting.
Next item is the personnel report for county departments.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
The acknowledgements for courts and row offices.
Motion acknowledged.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Correspondence was received as listed. Copies will be made available to the press upon request. Boards and authorities, agricultural preservation, for reappointment, a 3-year term to expire April 10th, 2027. Daniel Schoenberger of Palmerton, Pennsylvania.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
The correctional facility, for approval and execution, submission of amendment number 1 to the grant application for funding from the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency for reimbursement of COVID-related expenses for the prison. The project scope and budget are being modified to eliminate replacement of prison HVAC control system and rooftop units and increase the cost for cleaning of the prison HVAC system, procurement of a storage unit, and PPE for the prison. Additionally, the number of polycoms is being increased from 6 to 7. Total funding remains the same at $577,442.
Motion approved and execute.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Emergency Rental Assistance Program number 2 for approval and execution. Sub-grant agreement between the County of Carbon and the United Way of the Greater Lehigh Valley of Allentown, Pennsylvania for administration of the Emergency Rental Assistance Program number 2.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
The ESG program for ratification. Execution of the agreement with the Pennsylvania DCED for the 2023 Emergency Solutions Grant in the amount of $60,000. The county will subcontract the grant to Carbon County Action Committee for Human Services and Family Promise of Carbon County, each receiving $30,000. Funds will be utilized for rapid rehousing financial assistance, rental assistance, homelessness prevention, emergency shelter operations, and essential services for the period of January 26, 2024 through July 26, 2025. This is contract number 88342. Each entity is required to provide their match dollars.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Information technology for approval and execution. A quote was received from Integra One of Allentown, Pennsylvania for the Fortinet wireless switch firewall and access points for the coroner's office located, at a total cost of $8,563.71, which will be funded by the cremation fund. This is under CoStar's hardware contract number 003 E22-580 and software contract number 006 040252.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Planning and Development for ratification. Proposal received from Contact Engineering Solutions LLC of King of Prussia, Pennsylvania to purchase aluminum box culvert materials for the CDBG block grant project number 82698 for Packer Township fiscal year 2021. Culvert replacement, Oakland Mill Road, at a total cost of $79,225. This is CoStar's contract number 4400022460.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Recycling, the 903 grant for ratification. The Act 101, Section 903 Recycling Coordinator Grant Application for 2023, estimating reimbursement at $1,587.38.
Motion ratified.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein? Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
The Solicitor's Report.
Thank you. Relating to the courthouse renovation project, seeking a motion for approval and execution of a proposal from Premier Environments of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania for the counterfile cabinets for the clerk of court's new location on the first floor of the courthouse, totaling $7,626.88. And this is under CoStar's contract number 035-E22-159.
Motion approved and execute.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Nothing further for the solicitor's report.
Any further business? Hearing none. Commissioners, reports, Mr. Honor.
I just want to thank Northampton for coming up here and entering this agreement with us again. And on our grant, the prison ductwork will be started to cleaning on May 13th. The shed should be here by the first week of June, I'm hoping. So things are moving along very well. And again, I have to commend everybody that's been working on this. I mean, grant started out at $75,000 and we got $575,000. That's like an unbelievable amount that the people in our office, like I said, Val and Paul and everybody that, Bob looked at things, Cecilia in our purchasing department. This might be a first that you applied for $75,000 and got $575,000. So I want to thank everybody that was involved in that. And that's it.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes, I just wanted to bring up that the Carbon County Chamber and in particular Economic Development Corporation has been searching for several months for an economic development director. There are some requirements to the position of bachelor's degree in accounting, finance, or related, or accredited college, university, or no less than 5 years experience on the job in economic development. I know it's posted on the chamber website, the job description. I think we have it on our county website as well as several other sites, and trying to find a qualified person with some experience. The salary, like I said, is advertised at 50 to 60, depending on experience and knowledge and the position or the job. It's a big job, there's a lot of responsibilities and duties, and I feel that should we get the right person, we would be able to do better on the salaries. And most of the people that we did interview were either not qualified or wanted much, much more money. But so we are taking applications just because it's listed at a certain amount. Don't let that discourage you. Still apply for the position, and we'll see what happens after we interview. That's all I have.
Mr. Sifranco?
Three things. One is under the courthouse renovation project, it should be noted that the clerk of courts, after many years of debate, is officially down on the first floor in her new office. Obviously, all the furniture is not there yet, and that we had a kind of delay in getting that order out, but she has been moved downstairs. Her whole staff is down there, and we thank them all for working with us on that. It also should be noted that the district attorney's office has also been relocated to the first floor as part of the overall plan. So he's temporarily, yes. He will end up going back to the second floor. A lot of reno has started now up on the second floor of the courthouse, and we are slightly ahead of schedule. I don't want to say how far, but we're slightly. So that's a good thing for everybody. Project seems to be moving along, and once again, we'd like to, on behalf of all the commissioners, thank all the county employees who have been affected by this along the way. There's some issues that'll be coming up obviously down the road, which we'll address, but for right now, we're holding our own, and that's good. On yesterday, myself and Commissioner Arner had spent some time while Commissioner Notstein was up in the Wilkes-Barre area. We were out in Blair County on opioid settlement money and how it can be spent. We went out there with a lot of questions. I'm not so sure we came back with a lot of answers, but we did come back with a lot of suggestions. So we did kind of learn a lot from what is going on around the state, what other areas are looking at throughout the state. We're anxiously awaiting, there's a trust board meeting today. That'll be viral, that'll be hopefully shed some light as to where they're gonna rest with their votes and what they're gonna approve through that. And then obviously we're gonna move forward on how we spend the opioid money here. We're already spending some, but as we move further down the road, there will be some procedures and policies and data that we're gonna have to gather so that we spend that money properly and accordingly. But there's a lot you can do with it. Some that you thought you could, you can't. Some that you thought you can, you can't. It's back and forth, but we did learn some, and kind of, I think everybody was looking like, here's a list of what all you can do, and that did not really materialize, but what we did get is a list of what a lot of other counties are doing. So that was very helpful, and we were kind of Carbon County was grouped in with the whole northern tier across the whole state, 24 counties. So when we had breakout sessions, we were able to hear from, obviously from Carbon County to Mercer County. It was a very, very Erie. It was a very informative meeting for that purpose. Other than that, I don't have anything further. Anything else? Okay, that concludes the meeting. We'll start up front with Amy.
Good morning.
Good morning.
With regards to the E-Route 2 program with United Way of Greater Lehigh Valley, is that restarting that? Or?
Yeah.
So,
I think Ally can probably answer
I'll
how
try.
it's moving. We're trying to.
Lehigh Valley is picking up where Catholic Charities left off.
so do you guys still have some money left over from the first,
Oh, yeah.
The first round is gone, this is the second,
the 1.337 million?
Yeah,
we're at 1.4.
yeah, there's,
1.4.
yeah,
Okay, so that's what this is restarting
right,
from.
yeah.
When do you anticipate being able to have people apply for that?
That's up to them. We're not sure
That's up
because
to
it's
them,
gonna be a
yeah.
lot involved in just getting it set up by the United Way and getting organized, so.
And why the change from Catholic Charities to United Way?
Catholic Charities was, I shouldn't say no longer interested, I don't think they could possibly handle the program. It's a lot of paperwork and justification and reporting.
I know I appreciate the United Way stepping up, looking at it, stepping up to the plate. because otherwise we would have had to send that funding back. We did look at a private contractor, and it wasn't enough money for them to be able to collect the fees that were allowed to do the program. So I thank United Way for stepping up to the plate.
Thank you. With regard to the parking fund loans to 911, what is that, those two loans for?
Oh,
I'll let Ellen answer that again or what?
Yeah,
The reality of it is
Yeah, the,
they needed money, we loaned the money there to pay, to have
Oh.
equipment replaced. They
Yeah.
needed to be replaced.
Well, it was due to that incident with the generator, we
Right.
Yeah.
suffered a loss. They upfronted all of their money that was in our fund to pay for everything that needed to be replaced. Now, we're turning to P-Corps to see if they would cover any of the expenses.
Okay, so in the meantime, it's just coming from the parking fund for right now. Okay, thank you. And then may I get a copy of the pop-out day proclamation? And that's all I have, so thank you very much.
And one key point I'd like to make is when you hear about the parking fund, everyone thinks there's a lot of money, which there is. It should be noted, everyone always says, we'll take from the parking fund and balance the budget. Well, if we did that, we wouldn't be giving money to 911. We wouldn't be addressing our cash flow issue. We wouldn't be addressing a lot of things, so that's kind of like a savings you can take in and out and use. It is something that has to be looked at for the future because, you know, I know there's this money, use it, but you can't because there's unforeseen expenses that always come up in the county. And they're never a $10 bill, it's always, let's start at 10,000 and go from there. So that's why you'll see and it is one account that we can get to help with the
And
cash.
even like a lot of where we take the money out of that fund, it's gonna be replaced, because that's, I mean, even with children and youth, we should get the funding, you know. If there's $1 million there, we'll get that back, but we have to cover, to cover expenses, it could be for wages or, you know, contracts that were entered into. So thank God we have that fund, but it's not that we're gonna drain that altogether. That's, once we get funding back, then it would go back into that fund again, and maybe we'll have to, who knows what's gonna come up again.
Yeah, and that's why it's crucial that that fund kind of have a balance that we can regulate.
Thank you very much.
Rachel?
Question on the open space. Do we have like a know where that will be at this point?
Where,
What do you mean,
Where the preserved area will be?
Well, it's gonna, there's a whole, they have to apply for it. And I think we're trying to get it that we can have, the application period, I think somewhere between September and December. But we have to hire somebody, and I think Dennis and them, they can get additional fundings for this, that they also have a deadline for their funding, that people that enter into this could get from both entities, which it makes it a little bit easier for them. So, I don't know, Dennis could probably maybe answer something a
There's
little better.
nothing specifically lined up at this point. This funding is a pot of money that will be used for ag preservation and for open space. And we have a draft of the program and the criteria set up that the commissioners and the solicitors reviewing right now. And basically, it will be an open application period for land trusts and municipalities to apply for funding on projects that they develop, on land projects, land opportunities that they want to purchase.
Can you give me a couple examples, like what they could apply for?
Well, they could, I can give you an example. I'm with the Wildlands Conservancy. I can tell you a project that was just completed. We just acquired 633 acres along Drake's Creek, which is a high-value trout stream. And so the Wildlands Conservancy negotiates with the landowner for a price, gets an appraisal, and in that case, we decided not to keep it as a preserve, but it is adjacent to state game lands. So we negotiated with the Pennsylvania Game Commission for them to accept the donation of accept the property. So basically, we worked through a project, we received funding from DCNR, we received funding from a number of sources to pay for the land, and then it was deeded to the Pennsylvania Game Commission for them to manage and maintain in perpetuity.
So this is gonna be not one project, but a mosaic of projects around the county, and we don't know what they are yet. It's whatever applications come in for this, the Open Space Board will evaluate them, which we've been practicing at our last 2 meetings with sample projects that aren't for real. They'll evaluate, they'll send their recommendations to the commissioners will make the final decision on whether or not to award funds for that project. There will be numerous preservation projects though that happen with the open space program. It's not 10 million for one piece of land, it's whatever part of the 10 million that is going to go to open space will be awarded as projects come in that are worthy.
And there's 2 categories, the open space and ag. The ag preservation program already has a manual, already has a program, it already exists. And one of the criteria that Dan and I pushed for the funding to do this program was that there were 11 or 12 farm applications that were in the queue that could not be completed because there wasn't enough funding. And so the state ag department will give the county money based on how much money the county puts in. So it was last year, the county committed $1 million of that 10 million. Department of Ag gave them 1.4 million. So they have for the first time ever in the history of the county, now the ag program has funding and they're working on 5 applications right now to place a conservation easement to pay for the development rights for that farming family to keep that farm and to farm it, but it could never be developed. And so that program is already up and running and moving. The new manual will be for the open space program, which the commissioners and the solicitors.
Yeah, and even like with some of the farms that were in the project already, they weren't moving forward. And I think as everybody can see, 443 is being built up, Franklin Township will probably be built up. And I think some of the ones that were in the ag plan, we were scared that we were gonna lose them, and I think Lamont even hit on it. Some of these farms, they could put a warehouse right there. I think we're trying to, cut through that. And if we don't get this program going, this $10 million is not gonna do us any good if we don't start stopping some of these areas from developing like that. And we wanna develop, we wanna see businesses in, 443 or Franklin Township, but we don't want it to extend from, the Hampton to Penns Peak. You know what I mean? So we have to try and get a line of defense between that to stop it.
And one key point is this 10 million is seed money. For an example, Monroe County did a Monroe 2020 in the year 2000. They committed $20 million. And over the life of that program, they probably brought in over $70 million. Because this 10 million the county has, the applicant has to apply for matching funding. So it should be at least 20 or maybe $30 million of resources that we will have to preserve land.
It's more like planned development where we want to see certain things preserved, such as the farmland's an easy one. Forest land, we're a big tourist promotion or a tourist county. Maybe not always by choice, but everybody comes here because of the beauty of the county, the gorge and various other things like that. So it's more of a planned, like Rocky did say, it's not just for stopping development, it's more of a planned and controlled, to move forward. So it's gonna be a long process, gonna take a long time.
We were also wondering if there were any questions about the manual that you have that were, that you said that you would hope by the next
Yeah, I think
open
we
space
should.
meeting.
I don't have any yet.
And I think I wanna go back to it too, like, we always talk about planning, I think even for all the townships that would be involved in this, they are updating their zoning. And I think that's a very important thing, what's gonna help us out. I mean, if there's something there that's not zoned, then how do we attract the people? You know, if it's zoned commercial, like I said, the whole thing, then how do you combat that? You know, they have to have their areas designated for what, residential, agricultural,
And then they have to stick to their zoning ordinances and not
exactly.
give
exactly, they
everybody,
can't,
and change it for one
don't,
person.
don't
and
give
all
a
that.
variance or an
Exactly.
exception to the rule.
Right.
They have to stick to it.
It's, and we're in the process of comprehensive and greenways plans, by the municipalities. Now's the time to get those zoning ordinances up to date and get those into the long-term plan. And for the first time, they're doing both plans at the same time, coordinating the comprehensive and greenway plans, so.
And I spoke with the consultant for the open space last week. He said that you guys he sent out a survey that started last week about what the people want to see for the open space. Is that
Who
something you guys are taking into
Who
consideration?
sent that out?
Yeah, I believe the consultant, there's an
Oh.
online, yeah, the HRG is the consultant that's managing the update of the county comprehensive plan and the Greenway Park and Recreation Plan, so
Yeah.
it's kind of two plans
Yeah,
as
that was a
mission
little
notes that I
different.
mentioned. And yeah, in fact, they were at the Community Foundation had an event at Blue Mountain last week, and they were there and had a table. Basically, besides the committee that was set up, which we're on, to give feedback to the consultants, they're trying to cast the net wide and get input from the average citizen in the county.
So are
that's
you
the
guys
purpose.
taking that into consideration when you're
Oh.
going over?
Absolutely, that's what the consultant is going to be compiling and putting together for us.
That's all I have.
Anything else? Anything further? Thank you all. Enjoy your weekend.